What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new reaction, and today we're watching the top 10 times British Karens face justice. Now, me personally, I think I've only had really one Karen run-in my entire life, and it was when I was like 12. We were outside playing basketball in my friend's neighborhood, and one of his neighbors, she came out because we were playing basketball at like 8:30 at night. Wasn't even that late, but she was definitely a Karen. Wasn't British, but Karen, even though I probably had a couple different names for her that night. So but she literally just like yelled at us for like 2.5 minutes, and we didn't say a single word. And then she said, "Go get your parents." And I looked at her and said, "I don't live here." And that like made her even madder. And I think at that point she just kind of accepted defeat and just turned around and walked back inside. So that's just my one Karen experience. Who knows, British Karens might be a whole nother level. We're about to find out. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, drop a like for more reactions like this. But other than that, let's get into it.
This list will be looking at infamous moments of entitled and rude Karens and Kens from the UK getting some sweet, tasty karma in one form or another.
Wait, is Ken the male version? I always thought it was Kevin and Karen. But Ken low-key makes more sense. Right.
Have you ever had a wild Karen experience? Let us know below.
Yeah, for real. Y'all let me know some Karen experiences down in the comments. I already know y'all are gonna have some funny ones.
Number 10. Tube tirade. Trips on London's Underground are already daunting enough. There's the noise of the train, the weird smells, and people standing way too close to you.
Facts.
Yet, in January 2012, an intoxicated Jacqueline Woodhouse seemingly wanted to make the experience worse by going on a racist rant. She asked where people were from, claimed many were probably in the country illegally, and
where are your eyebrows at? Huh? Yeah, did you leave those at home? Where'd they come from?
harm to them.
You push me. You on that camera. I show what government of people like let you in.
With a similar incident in 2008, Woodhouse was promptly arrested for the disturbance after handing herself into the cops once footage was posted online.
Hell yeah.
She was later sentenced to prison for 21 weeks for her tirade.
Added to that, the judge gave her an ASBO, banning her from the tube and the DLR for 5 years.
Damn.
If she is drunk.
On top of that, Woodhouse was also sacked from her secretarial job.
Bro, what? She got 21 weeks for going off like that on the tube. Imagine the life sentences that would be handed out over in America. Bro, 60% of the population would be behind bars. Like, that is crazy. 21 weeks. I mean, I'm all for it. Hey, lock her up. But that's insane.
Number 9. Tram Karen. Public transport seems to bring out the worst in people.
Yeah, it's those tight spaces. You're already tired from going home from work. You're already kind of annoyed. Maybe you had a bad day. Now you're in a public transportation place with people that you don't even know, like right next to you. Yeah.
English? None of you English.
In November 2011, footage of Emma West travelling on a tram in Croydon was released, which took the internet by storm for all the wrong reasons. On it, with a child on her lap in the packed carriage, she launched into a racist tirade against black and Polish people.
What the heck?
Get off the tram then! You. And you! You.
After her arrest, West received a 24-month community order for her trouble.
I mean, great job, but what a great influence for the child on your lap. Like, come on. What the heck? What do you want to be when you grow up, honey? Nothing like my mother. That's the only answer.
But that's not all. Later on, West was struck off by the General Dental Council as a nurse on claims her behaviour had indicated
Damn.
she was a risk to patients.
Hey.
It shamed the profession. Number 8. Leading poorly. Football managers are meant to be leaders that provide support and encouragement for their players. Well, that's apparently not the case with John Yems. In April 2022,
this is my first Ken, okay? This is my first Ken experience. Here we go.
He was suspended from his job at Crawley Town after several players came forward with allegations about his racist antics.
Bro.
He described Muslim members of the squad as terrorists.
Yems was accused, among many things, of mispronouncing Arnold Schwarzenegger's name to become a slur, racial stereotyping masquerading as jokes, and attempts to bring segregation to the changing rooms. By May, Yems had left Crawley by mutual consent as the incidents began to pile up.
Wow.
That's not all. An independent panel investigated the various claims. They found Yems had committed 12 infringements and was banned from football for 18 months. However, the FA is looking to extend the duration.
Yeah, bro, he should never be back, honestly. How do you work so hard to, like, get the job as a football manager. Like a job a lot of people dream of having, you know? And then you just get there and just, you know what? I'm gonna be racist. Why not? Like, bro, it will never make sense to me. Never.
7. Royal rant. Whether you're pro-monarchy or pro-republic, pretty much everyone can agree. You don't aim your displeasure at a child. But that's exactly what Angela Gibbons did in 2016. She made comments on her Facebook page that slated the then 2-year-old Prince George. At the time, she was working as a manager for the charity the British Council, which had Queen Elizabeth II as a patron, making the situation even more awkward.
How are you gonna go after a 2-year-old? Like, bro, at least pick on somebody literally your own size. Or somebody old enough to understand what's happening. 2? Cheese and rice.
After an investigation by the group, they dismissed Gibbons for her comments.
Symbol of white privilege. Wow.
She took the British Council to a tribunal for wrongful dismissal. In November 2017, the judge turned down her case since she committed a personal attack on a small child.
Exactly.
Which is fair.
Why are you trying to fight with a baby? That is a baby.
Number 6. Terrible teaching. Working as a teacher with children that have emotional, social, and mental health needs isn't for everyone.
No.
It's a difficult job.
That is a special type of person. Special type of person. I have nothing but 10,000% respect for anybody. I already got a lot of respect for teachers anyways, especially the special needs teachers. Like, y'all are absolute angels.
Yet rewarding. But Karens, like Barbara Phillips, are definitely not fit to hold such a position. In October 2019, she was fired from her school in Warrington. After an investigation, it was found that she had referred to students as idiots and other insults behind their backs, and sometimes to their faces. Phillips also used social media to vent about the kids' behaviour, even naming them publicly.
Hey.
After she was fired, she accepted full responsibility, right?
That social media stuff, it gets a lot of people fired. Which, I mean, hey, you gotta accept the consequences. Consequences. English. For your actions. You're gonna comment stuff like that, bad stuff's gonna come, so.
Nope, of course not. Phillips instead messaged a pupil's guardian to seemingly sarcastically thank them. Number 5. Boasting and banned. Katie Hopkins might possibly be the most famous Karen to come from Blight.
I've heard of her.
You will know that I have always called lockdown the greatest hoax in human history.
Aren't we lucky? After numerous controversies throughout her career, Hopkins was set to be in Australia's Big Brother VIP TV show. But with the pandemic, she was staying at a hotel in Sydney to quarantine during lockdown. Hopkins filled her time by posting on Instagram numerous times, slating the measures and bragging about putting the hotel staff at risk as she ignored guidelines. Well, the Aussie authorities were livid. After being sacked from the show, Hopkins was fined $1,000 Australian, had her visa revoked, and was deported back to the UK with a police escort to the airport.
Damn, they fined her and shipped her ass home. Cheese and rice.
We will be getting her out of the country as soon as we can possibly
Up and out, get going.
arrange that.
Number 4.
Jeez.
Spiteful in Singapore. The pandemic really showcased how inconsiderate people could be, especially with those who refused to wear a face mask for a brief time to protect others when it was mandatory. In May 2021, Benjamin Glynn was working for a recruitment agency in Singapore. He was filmed breaking the rules by not wearing a mask on public transport after work. Believing masks were a hoax, the police soon intervened and arrested the expat, who could have faced up to a 6-month prison sentence. For this incident, Glynn was due to return to the UK for a job. However, he lost the role after his brush with the law. In August 2021, he was sentenced to 6 weeks in prison. But the following day, he was released due to time served and deported back to the UK.
Wait a minute. That man, hang on, what?
But the following day, in August 2021, he was sentenced to 6 weeks in prison.
So he was sentenced to 6 weeks, but got released the next day for time served. Imagine a 6-week sentence getting shortened down to 1 day just because, hey, you served your time, get out of here. But imagine losing your job and then going to jail for not wearing a mask. Like, bro, just put it on real quick, like shit.
But the following day, he was released due to time served and deported back to the UK.
That's crazy.
Number 3, Bristol Bash.
Oh,
In March 2022, the UK had some nice weather for a change, so Faye Johnson took her children paddleboarding in Bristol. However, a group of tweens was seemingly throwing rocks and mud balls at folk enjoying the water. Johnson exploded. She confronted the group and let her anger get the better of her.
Uh-oh.
She struck Antoine Forrest on the head with a paddle, leaving a nasty wound. To make it worse, there's no proof that Forrest was throwing anything. After the police were heavily criticised for their lack of quick action over claims it was racially motivated, they eventually arrested Johnson.
I'm about to say, that's not just a Karen, that's assault. That is assault with a deadly weapon. A paddle or not, that's assault. Cheese and rice.
She admitted her wrongdoing, received a suspended sentence, and had to pay Forrest £500.
Wow.
Number 2. Rage drinking.
Oh gosh.
Having caused a scene, ignored various warnings, and been thrown out of a cocktail bar in Halifax in January 2023, a reportedly intoxicated Justine Morrison couldn't just go home and remember the shame the next morning. Instead, she decided to go on a racist tirade against Dorman Daly Wiley and mocked his job.
Sure, why not? We could just go home, or we could do this. Let's keep the night going.
God, you must be so proud. Oh, you're working on a door.
All of which was captured on video. Morrison was arrested for her outburst, spent the weekend in jail, then sent home with a conditional caution.
Wow.
Once her employers found out, they weren't happy.
Up out of
Working
there.
as a part-time accountant at Shine Theatre Arts Company, the group fired her publicly. After all that, Morrison was also permanently banned from the cocktail bar.
There we go.
Number 1. Knockout racism.
Oh gosh.
Oh boy, the Tube is once again the scene for a massive racist rant. It's bonkers how much this happens. Anyway, in August 2020, a maskless Billy Steele, with all the unearned confidence possible, went on a tirade against other passengers. He especially picked out a group of black people on the London Underground, saying vile things and telling them they were going to be sent back.
The internet. Well, I'm popular. What's your name? Do you know what my name is? What's your name?
Even with others trying to step in, Steele wasn't having it, and continued his hate preaching. As the group got off, getting more abuse, one member spun and punched Steele, apparently knocking him out. Afterward,
Hey.
Steele reportedly handed himself into the police, who didn't take any action. But his mother stated he was getting help for his behaviour.
I don't usually condone violence. You know, it's spread love over here. I love spreading love. But sometimes, I'm gonna leave it at that, you know, sometimes. But alright guys, that is going to do it for the top 10 British Karens who faced justice. Those were actually, I'm not gonna say good, but that was a good video. If y'all want to see more videos like this, let me know by hitting that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure I go out today. Spread love. Hey, spread love. Spread kindness. Do something nice today. Don't be a Karen. Don't go on the tube screaming racial stuff, alright? I love you guys so much. It's JTReacts and I'm out. Peace.